Yes, good morning, my dear. Today I am going to discuss three topics: cyber ethics in e-commerce, requirements for safe e-commerce transaction, and the last one, measures to ensure security during the e-commerce. These three are the part of chapter 6. Okay, now first of all, you should understand what is cyber ethics. You can see the definition on your screen. What is cyber ethics? Cyber ethics is an electronic space or virtual world. Cyber ethics are related to online teaching and learning. Cyber ethics is the study of ethics pertaining to computers, covering users' behavior, what computers are programmed to do, and how this affects individual as well as society. Students, it is now very essential to tell people about how to properly operate the internal and its danger. You know, my dear, young generation do not want to be lectured about what is right and what is wrong. Yes, what is right and what is wrong. They select to think that they have it's all sort out. That means I'm smarter. I know everything. So don't tell to me. But little knowledge is dangerous, my dear. It can harm you. It can let you be in depression. Understood? So that is why it is important to tell appropriate cyber ethics to an early age. That this one is good, this one is wrong. Don't be motivated to such websites which can track you, which can let all your information know. So these all things must be, yes, said to them. If you are a knowledgeable person, then you must give advice, my dear. Okay, listen, students. Practicing good cyber ethics involves understanding the risk of harmful and illegal behavior online and learning how to protect ourselves and other internet users from such behavior. This is known as cyber ethics. Just now you can see on the screen, my dear. Following some issues are increasingly daily due to young generation using the internet improperly, and we have to take care of it. First one is copywriting or downloading. You see, my dear, copyright or downloading is a major issue because, yes, a young generation don't know copyright policies. They just take it, yes, send it. Even the YouTube, yes, any video take and upload it. It should be your own creation. Don't steal some data from any website and upload it and say, it is my website. It has my contents. Never, my dear. Students, the only try to search what they need from the web and download it for their purpose. Their thinking is like, if everybody is doing, why not I will? If he does it, I will also. But what the problem you are going to face in future that you have never thought, my dear. Okay, cyber ethics could help children to learn the risk involved in internet downloading. Some softwares, when you are downloading it, maybe it can have viruses, or maybe it can ask your personal information. Before downloading, you have to fill these all informations. That is your name, your address, your father's name, your mobile number, maybe some other informations like credit card, debit card, whatever. So you have to be aware, and even you have to aware to your society also, if they are not knowing about, and they all are involved in such activities, my dear. Okay, next topic is crime and punishment. You know, children do not believe that they will get in any problem, into any problem from neglecting the user of cyber ethics. It has become easily to track the origin of wrong activity, my dear, over the internet to an individual user. That means using the IP address, you can be, yes, tracked, you can be caught. So don't think that whatever I will do, no one is going to see me because I'm in the pack room. So who will see me? Yes, there are many steps through which you can be caught. You have read already in the newspaper. Understood? You have seen this one in electronic media also, that many students, they have been involved in such activities and they have been caught also. Next one is internet hacking. Hacking, when I say, then that means stealing some information. Okay, what is hacking? Hacking done by stealing classified informations, stealing passwords to get into a site, and also recasting a website without permission. Your website, without your permission, it will recast it. Okay, since the world is run on computers, my dear, it is important that hackers are stopped. They could create viruses that could shut down your important websites or steal your informations or let your PC be hanged. Understood? So we have to make our relatives, our society aware by telling its importance, my dear. Okay. Now, the next part is cyberbullying. Students, cyberbullying is bullying that takes place carrying electronic technology carried by devices. Either it can be smartphone, whatever, laptop, desktop, and equipments such as your cell phones, I already said, computer, I said, tablet, laptop, and maybe some other communication tools also, including social media sites also, text messages also, websites, and chat. So listen, my dear, when a child, student, people, yes, encounter cyberbullying, then what should they do? First, tell a trusted adult, if he or she is a student or a child, then he or she must inform to parents and keep telling them until they have taken action. Maybe they can report to the nearest police station so that whatever the person that has done, he can be caught, because we have cyber cells also. Next, avoid to open, read, or respond to messages from cyber bullies. Any information that comes or any dialogue box that comes, you have to not entertain. Maybe they can let you be in a problem also. So please be aware. Next, always keeps a message from bullies. Always keep message from bullies. That means any message that has come, keep the record. They may be needed to take corrective actions, because the cyber cells can demand whatever the message that you have got it, give me the report of those all messages. So if you have the record, then you can see it. Okay. Yes. Other one, use software to block bullies if they encounter them through chat or instant messaging. Students, use of technologies is globally accepted as it facilitates the searching and the retrieval of informations needed for their academic and the successful completion of their education programs. So never think that my technology can harm me. How you are using, yes, which way, yes, it depends on you. Maybe some are very smart, they are knowing that what the activity you are doing on your PC, and they want your confidential informations. They can come to your PC by different way, maybe by some exciting prices, whatever. So you have to be very, very careful. Suppose you have got jackpot of 1 crore and you haven't entertained such a program, you never participated in such a program, then how you can get 1 crore? Oh, like this, I got 1 crore. So I will fill all the information. Oh, credit card, I will give it. Bank account number, I will give it. Mobile number, everything I will give it. So that after 5 days, I will get 1 crore. Nothing you will get it. You will be tired. Whatever your hard money you have in your account now, that also will fly. So you have to be very, very careful, my dear. So never blame to technology, my dear. They need to be aware, my dear, and knowledgeable about the ethics surround the use of ICT is therefore important. Students must be aware and possesses the knowledge about the cyber ethics. Therefore, cyber ethics education must be provided not only to the students, to the society also, to the people also. Yes, maybe by having some workshop or the organized by the schools or the colleges, or by maybe by the government also. Okay. Now, cyberbullying. Next part. Yes, requirements for safe e-commerce transaction. You know, if I'm doing online shopping, then I must be very, very careful which the website I'm going to take the facility. That website is the secure website. It is a renowned website. Maybe some websites are there, new websites are there, which can give you 90% cashback. Never be greedy, my dear. If you will be greedy, then availing 90%, instead of that, whatever you have, your hard money in your account, that all will be transferred to unknown account. So be careful. You must have the survey. Understood? If Many, yes, many of the people, so they are using that one. Never think that I will also go for that one. You must see, yes, comments also. There are comment sections where the people, they give the feedback. You must go for that one. What it is a rating, that also you must have to check it. Not only, not your friend has said you started doing the shopping. No, my dear, please. Now, security is an important part of any transaction that takes place over the internet. Customers will lose his or her faith in e-business if its security is compromised. So, what are the different parts I'm going to discuss, my dear? First one is confidentiality. Information should not be accessible to an unauthorized person. Not I'm saying unauthorized person, unauthorized website also. Whatever your information should not be shared with the unknown website. While buying some objects online, we are asked to enter name, delivery address, bank account number, credit card or debit card details. You have to not give. Never, never any website asks these all things. When you pay, then you are connected to the bank. Understood? At that time, you have to give the information. But any website that is asking, give me, you have to pay. Okay. Yes, you are going to buy a laptop of 50,000. You have to pay. Then fill this information. Never fill it. You have, while paying, you itself will be connected to the bank website. If you are going to avail net banking, avail it, whatever, credit card, debit card, whatever. But never give these all informations to the website. This information should not be shared by an unauthorized person. Clear? Now, integrity. Information should not be altered during its transmission over the network. That means once you have given your information and after that you thought, no, it was wrong, my dear, I have disclosed my all the information, so how I can get back? Sorry, you cannot. Be careful. Availability. Information should be available whenever and wherever required within a time limit specified. Otherwise, delaying the information may, yes, loss in business. So what it means, when you are having your transaction, you are getting the OTP that has a time limit. Delay in that one may cause problem. Again, you have to go from the beginning, my dear, because for the security, such type of validity must be given so that your account will be protected. Understood? So you have to be very, very careful that whatever the information that I'm sharing with the bank, okay, yes, that must be shared within a time limit. Like OTP, yes, you have already accessed the using the website, yes, bank websites, and you have gone to your account. And if you are not using your account for a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes itself, your session will expire. That is for your security, my dear. Authenticity. There should be a mechanism to authenticate a user before giving his or her an access to the required information. Yes, your email ID, password when you are giving, when you are entering your email account, when you are going to avail the net banking, there you have your user ID and the password. Not only after that, if you are going to avail the transaction, you are going to pay someone, there you have the OTP and even, yes, your, yes, transaction password also. Password and transaction password. That means transaction password will exist when you are going to, yes, transfer your, yes, money from your account to another one. Okay. Now, next one is non-repeatability. It is the protection against the denial of order or denial of payment. Yes, that means once you have send a message, then the sender should not be able to deny message that I have not sent it or I have not done the transaction. Even the receiver cannot deny that I have not received. Yes, whatever transaction you have done it, I have not received the money. You have not transferred the account. All such details we are having. Now, encryption is what? Information should be encrypted and decrypted only by the authorized user. Your simple text into unreadable code. This is the simple line you can say. If anyone asks what is encryption, it is the process through which we convert our simple text into non-understandable code. That means the user cannot understand it. Unauthorized user cannot understand it because my data is protected. My data is encrypted. And decryption just opposite. Now, auditability. Data should be recorded in such a way that it can be audited for integrity. Already I have discussed this one in the previous part. Now, measures to ensure security. Yes, there are three parts encryption already I have discussed. Other one is the digital signature and the last one is digital certificate. So encryption already I have discussed. Wait, non-understandable. Okay, now I'm going to discuss what is digital signature. A digital signature authenticates the web credentials of the sender and lets the recipient of an encrypted message know that the data is from the trusted source. That means if any information that you are going to get it, yes, that must be encrypted. And even when you are receiving this one, then you or system already, yes, authenticate it, already validated that this information which has been sent by the user, that the information is the what? That is yours. It belongs to you. So your system can understand that this packet has to be taken by the receiver. A digital certificate is issued by the certification authority. Digital certificates are used with the self signatures and message encryptions. Digital certificates are known as sometimes public key certificates or identity certificates. I will give you a table by which you can understand easily that what is the difference between the digital signature and the digital certificate. Now, next part, that is your, yes, digital certificate. What is digital certificate? Digital certificate is a unique ID used to verify the identity of an individual website or user. Now, you have to understand the difference. I have given a chart by which you can understand it well. First one, if basics I'm saying, if I'm saying basic, it verifies the authenticity and source of a particular document. Now, here it is related with the document, but here it creates an identity of a website and also increase its trustworthiness. That means here website and here your document. What's difference here? Now, next one. That is the process. The document is encrypted at the sending end and decrypted at the receiving end. Already I discussed the encryption and decryption. Encryption is done from the sender end. and decryption is done at the what? Receiver end. Understood? So that receiver can read the data. Yes, using asymmetric keys. Now, what is about digital certificate? A digital certificate is issued by a trusted agency, Visa, like that one, known as a CA, which follow particular steps to do, so that they are key generation, registration, verification, and creation. Here, what is asymmetric keys? But here you have to go for three. That is key generation, registration, also verification, as well as creation. Now, the last one, that is security. It provides authentication, non-repudiation, and integrity. Already this part I have discussed before. I have defined already. And in the digital certificate, it provides authentication and the security. These are the three differences between the digital signature and the digital certificates. I hope you all have understood this topic.